and welcome to another exciting edition of the Russell County Coaches Show. And I'm here with the Russell County head football coach, Coach Dillon Griggs. Coach, always a pleasure having you here on the show. Congratulations on the win. Team's looking great. 3-0 on the season. Big win against Wetumpka. Just talk about what was going through your mind. It was a very close game, but just those two defensive plays, Pollard with the scoop and score. It was actually Daniel that actually got the sack. Just talk about just leading us up to that play and what was really the mindset that was going through your mind during that.
I mean, for me, it's always just about trust. And so, even as that drive was going and, they're subbing guys in and out, obviously I'm usually on the offensive side of the headset. The guys are like, why so-and-so or this or that. And, my big thing is I just leave Coach Dixon alone during those drives. Right. I trust him. And I've said all summer, and I'll say it now, I have thought that our defense was going to be exceptional this year, especially compared to the years past. And so, there was really never any doubt in my mind that we were going to get the stop, to be completely honest with you, especially once we kind of went into the prevent defense. But I'll tell you, when I watched Daniel, and if you knew Daniel's story and just how much that kid's worked hard. Now, he has great parents and a great home life, but he's been a little bit of a smaller kid, and sometimes us as football coaches, sometimes if you're not 6'3", especially in certain positions. And so Daniel is one of those kids who has just proved everybody wrong through his hard work. And, his work ethic is unbelievable. And then even Lamontez Pollard, who caught the ball when Daniel hit the quarterback, his story over the last 4 years, man, if I could begin to tell you what him and his family have been through together and to watch them fight to get him to this moment and for us to be just a small part of that story. This game on Friday will be a game that all of us on that Russell County sidelines will talk about in 10, 20, 30 years when we have reunions. Because that was a good coach. Well, that was a good coach and a good played 4-quarter football game.
Right.
There was a lot of adjustments by both teams. It was physical. That Wetumpka game has turned into a little bit of a rivalry just because, obviously me and Bear have such a close relationship. Yes. And so, it's always funny because I know me and Bear, we'll talk on the phone 5 times a week. But I know when we get in front of our team, it's just like I want to beat him. I want to beat them, And so it's a little bit personal. But I'll tell you, even when we got down 17-15 at halftime, right before halftime, and we got the ball back with like 1:06 left on the clock, like on the 10-yard line, and to watch the offense drive the field. And during my time here, we've never made a field goal. We've never hit a field goal and made it. Now, I didn't say a PAT. We're talking about a field goal. And so, his range at practice is usually about 15. We're on the 15 end. We feel like, we were like on the 20, 22. And so, we're sitting there, and I was like, just go with it. And then we go to line up, and I looked at Coach Powell, our special teams coordinator, 3 different times. And it was kind of like somebody moved. I was like, you want me to call timeout? He's like, no, trust it. Well, then he makes a face. I'm like, you want me to call a timeout? No. Well, then he makes another face, and I'm like, do you want me to call a timeout? He was like, no. And then I see him kick the ball, and I'm over there like I am jumping on top of Powell. Like, it's just such an exciting moment. Like, if you'd have just been here for the last 5 years and been through everything that we've been through together, like as a group and as a team, like in the past, if something like that would have happened right before halftime, like we threw a pick, they go score, then they do a kickoff, they recover the kickoff, we somehow get the ball back, drive a field, kick a field goal to take the lead. Well, Russell County of the past, I'm not talking about necessarily last year, we just never were in that situation. But in the years past, I don't know that we could have recovered from that mentally as quickly as we did. And so, I remember at halftime, I was like, this is a football. I was so excited. Like, you would think, like, Coach, it's 17-15. I was so excited. And just, I walked in the locker room, and I was like, this is what football is about. That game on Friday is everything that we want in high school football.
Yeah, it was incredible. And we were glad that we were able to live stream it on Georgia Alabama Sports Live. Thrift Behringer had just an incredible call, and I can't imagine what that stadium was like when you guys got the scoop and score. And a big win against Wetumpka, a good Wetumpka team that remembered that you guys beat them at their place last year.
No, absolutely, we knew, Coach Woods, he's got an OC and a DC like I do, but he calls the special teams, whereas I got a coordinator in each position now. I don't really call a whole lot. I knew he was going to really try to flip the difference in the game on the special team side of it. And, and he came in there and he threw the book at it. He threw the swinging gate on us, the first touchdown or the second touchdown that they scored and went for 2 on us. And so it was just a good game. I mean, Wetumpka is a really good football team. Like 1-2 is not Wetumpka. Like those 2 losses, in my opinion, are the 2 really good teams.
Right.
Like this is a team that could be a 2nd, 3rd, 4th seed, even a 1st seed if the right things. Like they're scrappy. Like I'm so interested in that Pike Road game versus them this week, and I think it'll tell us a lot.
Yes.
But they play hard, and they do not give up. They do not care what the score is. They do not care what's going on. They are going to play 4-quarter football, and I'm glad that we equally match that intensity.
But, Coach, not only 3-0, 1-0 in the region, getting a big region win against Wetumpka. Let's go ahead and take a break. When we come back, we are going to preview the game against Percy Jullian, which is going to be this Friday night, and another region game. You don't want to go anywhere. It's the Russell County Coaches Show.
For the big, for the small, the short, and the tall. Peacemakers, risk takers. For the optimists, pessimists, exhibitionists. For long-distance love. For the far-sighted, nearsighted. For introverts and extroverts. For the thinkers and the doers. For old friends. Coca-Cola. For everyone.
Imagine a life-changing injury. Imagine the fear and unknown. The Houston Clinic Sports Medicine Team, the only physicians in the area with advanced certification in orthopedic sports medicine, treats sports injuries with innovative techniques. The Houston Clinic has helped nearly 1 million athletes live without pain. Imagine getting back in the game. Imagine the best game of your life. The Houston Clinic Sports Medicine Team.
I'm always on the go. But with the Kinetic Credit Union app, Kinetic is always with me. The Kinetic mobile app is virtual banking at its best. With the Kinetic mobile app, I can easily send and receive money, make a deposit, pay some bills, and I can even open up a new account, all from my phone. And I can monitor all my accounts in one place, all on the go. The Kinetic mobile app, energized banking at its best.
Kinetic Credit Union, the energy for your dreams.
Are you looking for a powerful new Chevrolet or GMC truck and a great deal? Check them out side by side at Glenn Smith in Opelika. Take your choice of new Chevrolet and GMC 1500 trucks discounted up to $12,000 off. Chevy and GMC heavy-duty trucks discounted up to $7,000 off. People from all over the USA save at Glenn Smith Chevrolet GMC in Opelika, Alabama. Get ready to smile.
And welcome back to the Russell County Coaches Show. I'm here with Coach Dillon Griggs. 3-0 on the season, 1-0 in region play, but you have another region matchup against a familiar opponent. Percy Jullian used to be Robert E. Lee. They used to be in the same region with you a couple years ago. Then they moved up to 7A, had a name change on their school. Now they're in 6A. You played them last year. They're 1-2 on the season. What are you looking forward to with Robert E. Lee, or not Robert Lee, what are you looking forward to with Percy Jullian coming in with a big region contest at Corbett Stadium this Friday?
Percy Jullian, it's like every other team in this league. They're athletic, they're big, they're physical. Coach White, the head coach over there, he does a good job. And to say they're 1-2, well, they lost to a 2-1 Stanhope team on a Thursday night, and then they lost to Carver Montgomery, who's only lost to Thompson at this point. So it's not like they've been in an extremely difficult schedule so far this season. They're big, they're athletic. 11 was a big, and I hate to I'm going to touch on this a little bit. 11 was one of our big keys to trying to defend him, especially offensively this game. And unfortunately, last night that young man was shot in the back at a birthday party at his own house. And so he's in the hospital. Hopefully he's gone through surgery. But, a game like this, because we're going to do something to honor that young man in the game on Friday, because this, games like this at this point for me remind you that it's so much more than football. It's about these kids. And I don't care if you're at Percy Jullian or if you're at Stanhope or Central or wherever. It's all about the kids, no matter what, when and where. Now, thankfully, God has touched this young man. And hopefully, this this little recovery that he's going on will become his greatest platform ever and just lead to an unbelievable story for him. But moving on past that, they've just got a lot of good football players. The quarterback's really athletic. He throws the ball well. Obviously, they have a lot of good skilled receivers. They cover really well. I feel like their middle linebackers, they go sideline to sideline and they tackle real well. So, for us, we want to not only match their intensity, but we want to lift it. And it's homecoming, so we know that they're going to feel a type of way. Like, who in their right mind schedules Percy Jullian for homecoming? Well, when you're looking at our home schedule, you're looking at Wetumpka, Percy Jullian, Stanhope, Pike Road, Beauregard as your 5 games. And, Beauregard's got to be senior night because it's the last game of the season, like home game of the season. You don't have a choice. And so you're just kind of like, eeny, meeny, miny, mo, like I don't know which one to choose. And so I know they're going to be heated that we scheduled them for homecoming. So we're expecting a little extra push, especially what happened with this young man. We're imagining they're coming in angry, ready to prove something, and we just need to play good, hard-nosed, disciplined football. And I feel like if we take care of business, we'll have a shot to win.
Yeah, absolutely. Talk about that homecoming experience, because we've experienced it the last couple of years. They have the grassy field. They've got booths everywhere. It's like a big party. It starts at like 3 p.m.
Yeah, no, our tailgate on homecoming is like something like in the SEC. I don't even know if it's that strong. I was a student assistant at Troy for a while. I don't even know if I've seen anything like that at a Troy game. But it's really cool. I love our homecoming experience. We'll take the kids. After we get done with all of our stuff and we're getting ready to go to the stadium, we will bus them over to the middle school football field. And, there'll be thousands of people out there, and the band will be out there, and we'll do what we call the Warrior Walk over there. It's a tradition we started 5 years ago. But on homecoming, we take it to them. And so it's just good to see people of the past and the current out there celebrate these kids. It is a moment purely just for the kids. But it's something special. Like every year I go out there, it just sends chills down my spine just watching. Like, to think about the history of Russell County, you would think like, oh man, like they're not that involved. That is so wrong. Like, these people love this school.
No question.
They love their kids. They love their athletics. And, like if somebody could catch that on camera and get to put that in, I feel like a lot of people would just be like in awe.
Yeah, and it was just a great moment. We had our high school game day there last year, and it was just a great event, and we are looking forward to it. And we will have that game for you on Georgia-Alabama Sports Live. Coach, I want to talk about the team. Bryson Riggins, he's at 9 touchdowns now? He did have a touchdown pass. I believe he's at 9. I mean, he didn't throw 4 touchdown passes, but you got the win. And, teams are starting to see that he is passing the football. But one thing about the balanced offensive attack, you got Bryson Riggins as a weapon, but you also have Chris Lucas, who's averaging 120 yards a game. It seems like I've known Russell County for a while. It seems like you plug and play whatever running back is there, whether it's Drew Pickett, Kelson Tarver, Devin Brown, now Chris Lucas. Talk about how important that running back position is, really, to take pressure off Bryson.
So, I've been fortunate. I've been around some really good football teams. Our running back room, since the day that I've been here, has just been something like of another world. And I talked to y'all about Chris Lucas last year and told you this is a kid to look out for. And so, I mean, he is everything we thought he was going to be and more. And even with Eugene Robinson back there with him, both of those running backs, it's just like a little salt and a little pepper. Like, which one do you want? That current. And the thing is like last year, what hurt us a little bit at times was, we relied on one thing instead of both things, because at some point one of those phases is going to fall short. So to be able to go to another phase of the game to get you out of trouble. And then it still goes back to Bryson. Like, Bryson's running a whole lot all of a sudden, and it's changed the dynamics of a whole. Like, I don't even know, like, when you're sitting down to game plan against our offense, like, that's got to be an extremely thing to do, because like you said, we're really balanced with pass to run. But you got Eugene who can run the ball. You got, obviously, Chris Lucas who can run the ball. Now you got Bryson running the ball. So you got to be careful with your coverages. You almost got to put a spot there, which then you look at our receiving core from Quentin Lewis to Sed Dupins to Noah Sterling to Jamari Burnett to Elijah Lyles. Like,
it's a lot of depth.
Yeah, like, how do you really defend that? And then our offensive line is playing on a whole nother level this year as well.
No question.
They are physical. They get after it. But when I'm out there and I'm watching all those guys, I think it's just a testament to how they practice every day. We really put an emphasis on being physical at practice. Like, when I tell you, like, we do inside, like during the summer, we do inside every day. Inside is every day. Like, we do not care. Pads, all that, like no pads. Like, we're going to do inside. We're going to try to be a physical football team. We do inside twice a week during the season. I mean, we go out there and we hit. We bang in the morning. We bang in the afternoon. And so, like everything we're seeing out there. But I will say this, back to Chris Lucas, like when you're watching him just steamroll people, it's a different type of runner than Devin. Devin was shifty and going to make 2 or 3, 4 or 5 miss. Chris is just going to run you over.
Yeah.
And he's going to make you like it in the process. And so, like, it's really interesting to watch it unfold. And what a lot of people I don't think realize is he's just a sophomore.
Unbelievable. Yeah.
He's just a sophomore. I don't even know if he's 15. I think he's literally 14 years old.
Wow.
And so, that's a testament to him in the weight room, but a testament to his parents because, he was born with some good genes in him.
Yeah.
And I love his parents. And Garrick Lucas is one of our starting defenders. And then his little brother is our starting running back at the middle school, Giles Lucas, who is just taking this whole area by storm. So, the whole family is just really good. But, we're really lucky. Eugene and Chris Lucas in that backfield is something to behold.
And talk about that defense because you got some dudes. You got Eldrick Page. You also have Isaiah Thomas.
Thomas. We got Cameron Murray. You got Todd Davis. You got Lamontez Pollard, you got Jaden Grant, Caden Jackson, Carlos Cotton, Garrick Lucas.
Of course, Daniel.
Yeah, Daniel. And so, like, it's just like it's a senior-loaded defense.
Yeah.
And they're playing exactly how they're supposed to play. The cool thing now sometimes is when you're on defense, you'll actually have the Page brothers out there at the same time at middle linebacker together. Yeah. And that's big brother and little brother. And so, like, it's really interesting to watch them play together side by side in that backfield and to watch them go dominate together. I know their parents have got to be sitting up there some days just like, go Jose, go Eldrick, like at the same time. I mean, it's just, it's a family atmosphere. But our defense is stout. I mean, from top to bottom, they've been playing well. Hopefully both sides of the ball will continue to play well. But, I think our defense has the chance to be a number 1 or 2 defense in this region.
Coach, I do want to circle back to the Eufaula game because last time we had a coach's show, we were previewing the Eufaula game. First of all, big win, first time in 27 years that Russell County beat Eufaula. How big was that for the community? I know Eufaula used to be a region rival, and they're still a rival because they're just down. They call it the Battle of 431. It's right there on near Russell County, and it was very important just to get a big win on the road, but really just to have a win like that and beating them for the first time in 27 years. How big was that?
Well, the funny thing on the Battle of 431, I just randomly said that to a news crew that week, and out of nowhere, it just kind of turned.
It kind of just hit. It just kind of
took
like wildfire because I'm hearing on WRBL.
Because when I called Coach Jernigan about it, we were both kind of laughing because I was like, man, we should make a trophy and call it the Battle of 431 and have a play, which we didn't do this year. Hopefully, and it's really hard to call it a rivalry. And I'll agree with you, Fowler, when literally you have not beat somebody since 1998. Well, I don't know that you'd call it a rivalry, but our goal from here on out is to have parity with Eufaula. I think Eufaula is a blue blood, a traditional powerhouse in this state, and it hadn't mattered if they were 5A, it hadn't mattered if they were 6A. They have dominated and played a high level of football. All the NFL football players that have come out of that school, and like I said, Coach Jernigan is a good friend of mine. It felt good to watch. That game was raining so bad, so we get out there and like half of our game plan is just gone.
Yeah,
and so to sit there and to just watch the boys handle that adversity, because right now we probably are a little bit more of a pass first team. Obviously with Bryson back there, and that was when we really started realizing just how special our O-line and our backfield were. Because it's one thing to pass that, and Bryson's so good with his timing, you don't really have to worry about sacks a whole lot.
Yeah.
But when you're running the ball, that requires the O-line to really play at a whole nother level to open up what those guys need to do, what they need to do. And so it was a 4-quarter football game. I mean, we didn't pull away till late. It's 14-7 at half, which last year was 14-14 at half.
Yeah.
And so, it was everything I thought it was going to be. I look forward to re-signing a 2-year deal with Coach Jernigan. And hopefully this is something that we can we've started, me and him, for the next 20, 25 years or however long it is. And hopefully it does become something like the Battle of 431 where there's so much parity that, that stadium's selling out every year, and kind of like Valdosta Lowndes.
Yeah.
And so, it's just one of those things. There's two teams within an hour that are on 431, and that's Eufaula, and that's Russell County.
Well, we appreciate the rivalry, and hopefully that deal can get re-signed so we can feature you guys on Georgia Alabama Sports Live next year. Coach, always a pleasure. Thank you so much for joining us on the Russell County Coaches Show. Good luck against Percy Jullian, and looking forward to having you back next time.
Yes, sir. Go Warriors.
All right, that is Coach Dillon Griggs of the Russell County Warriors. Thank you once again for watching another episode of the Russell County Coaches Show. We are presented by Glenn Smith Chevrolet GMC, Kinetic Credit Union, the Houston Clinic, and Coca-Cola. Thank you for tuning in, and we will see you next time.